Hey guys, it's Jade back with another video, and today we are continuing our 50 State Cryptid series again. Let's go. Hurrah. I'm sorry. Um, Today we're going to be looking at the Van Meter monster from Iowa, so stay tuned and let's get right into it. Alright, so obviously, as I said, Iowa is the home of this Van Meter monster. It's a very dragon-looking creature. I guess it's been terrorizing a town in Iowa for a while. The first sighting was in Bedford, Iowa, on a summer day in August of 1887. Lee Corder saw a flying serpent. The mysterious serpent had protruding eyes and a forked tongue. It also had scales that glowed in the sun, and it had a huge body. Corder said it landed on the ground and then kind of like just started him and then took off again. Several people saw a flying monster with horns on its head in 1890 in Independence, Iowa. Witnesses say that it had a mouth like an alligator. Witnesses say the scales that covered the creature were very greenish. Again, in 2005, a witness named Megan saw this so-called dragon in Burlington, Iowa. She said the 10-foot-long snake-looking monster was flying overhead, and it was in the middle of the night. Megan and her husband were driving home, and they said it had bat-like wings with a seahorse head. Interesting. There's been a lot of articles written about this Van Meter monster. People who claim to have seen the dragon themselves have left comments on these articles, and one of those people named Zeus, Z-E-U-Z, he stated that he lived in Iowa, and he saw the dragon all the time in Grand Mound. He stated that they came in the fall when the harvest moon was full, and that the dragons fly away with his next-door neighbor's cattle. He even swears that he saw dragons all the time, and sometimes even in groups of 3. There have been many dragon books and novels. One in particular is called The Dragon Riders of Pern, which has many different colors of dragons and different types, and it's been noted that maybe Zeus read this book and he could just be taking what he read and expanding on it. However, in the fall of 1903, apparently, a winged creature harassed Van Meter, Iowa for almost a week. The witnesses were upstanding citizens of a town, and they were all very believable, like they'd never done anything bad in their lives, and they all reported seeing a half-human, half-animal with enormous bat wings, and this creature moved at an incredible speed and shot a blinding light from its horn. That's when the legendary Van Meter monster was born. The first night, I guess some guy named Eugene Griffith shot at it as it flew over some buildings. The bullets did not faze the monster, however. The next night, Peter Dunn saw the creature, and he too tried to shoot it. The town doctor's shots had the same effect as Griffith's, and the monster flew on its merry way, not even bothered by the bullets. Then there was a third night. A guy named O.V. White was awakened by the winged fiend and also tried to shoot it. It crouched on a telephone pole above his hardware store. The expert shooter either missed or his bullets did not affect the dragon as well as everybody else's. The shots woke Sidney Gregg, who was sleeping in his nearby store. Gregg said the Van Meter monster hopped like a kangaroo, and this high school teacher saw the beast and said that it looked prehistoric. The town of Van Meter obviously wasn't happy about this flying serpent that was terrorizing their town. The townspeople formed a hunting party and went after it. A guy named J.L. Platt Jr. heard a scary noise at an abandoned coal mine, so the posse started to search there. The Des Moines Daily News published an article about the battle that happened that night. October 3rd, 1903, all hell broke loose, and the town let loose all of its firepower to hopefully get rid of this Van Meter itself. The monster appeared at the mine's entrance wrapped in golden lights, but not alone. It had a smaller, possibly a little baby one with it, and they both flew off. I guess they flew over all of the people that were shooting at it. The cascade of gunfire didn't bother them at all. From September 29th, 1903 to October 3rd, 1903, the Van Meter monster haunted the town. Respected men told their stories, even though they knew many would think they were crazy. Yet, they saw something during that week, and, I mean, even if it wasn't a monster, it was something. A lot of cryptids have, like single one-time sightings, but it is very difficult to explain away an entire week of sightings. Theories about what the Van Meter monster is and where it came from were very, very much teasing the locals. One of the views is that it came from another dimension by ripping a hole into ours. That's wild. But I guess the question would be, why would dragons come into our accident? Was it an accident? Like, what do they want? I don't know if I believe another dimension story, but I guess that's a theory. Another idea is that fear created the monster. Fear fueled by mass hysteria, and, I mean, that's how a lot of cryptids and creatures are born. This could all just be people making things up. With this cryptid, there are just so many similar stories that all came from the same week, which, like I said, is very hard to explain away. An entire week of stories, but let me know what you guys think about this one. This one's a little more rough because it is hard to make up that many accounts in the span of a week. However, it could be mass hysteria, people just being scared, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're from Iowa and you have a story, and you can help us debunk or, I guess, prove that this is true. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of the Van Meter monster, or if you have your own stories. But yeah. Next week is going to be Sinkhole Sam from Kansas. I don't know this one, I never heard of it. We are coming up on some popular ones, though, that a lot of people know, like the Rougarou, and the Wendigo, and the Chupacabra, so you just stay tuned for those. But this next week is going to be Sinkhole Sam from Kansas, so yeah. Stay tuned for Sinkhole Sam, and I hope that you enjoyed the Van Meter monster. Take care, and I will see you next time.